Okay guys, so this is a quick review of what we discussed. What we're looking at is the process by which you need to use to get your diagram done, right? And we're looking at this process right here. Now the idea is that first you want to select your reference content. Then you want to determine your digital media functions, right? So you remember we spoke about, does your media do you require raster editing, vector editing, 3D modeling? These are all things that a computer can do, and you need to know which one of these things you need to produce your mimic image. Now remember, you're not determining the software just yet, but rather just these functions. And next, you determine what software you want to use. The software you use must support your functions as the primary purpose of that software. So that's how you know you're using the right software. So after you determine the digital media functions, next you want to determine your visualization features. Now, I have here the selections that most of you have selected. And based off these selections, I could immediately identify some features. For example, this requires soft shadows, texturing, and it has sketchy lines, as you can see. So these are all features that you might realize that you need. Now, the objective is to document the visualization requirements that you think are needed. Now you may not need all of these: hard shadows, texturing, 2D furniture, a way to produce 2D furniture and so forth. These are all plans that you may not necessarily need, but the first thing you need to do is to determine what features your mimic has. Next, you're going to create an estimated workflow process. And remember, we looked at this example. What if we wanted to produce a rendering showing this grill work here? Well, in order to do that, this is the estimated process that we think we would need. We would need to take an image, convert it to vector, import it into 3ds Max, and then you decide if you wanted to export as FBX or render in Max. So at this stage, you might have particular doubts as to what path you might want to take. Now next, and this is the important one, is you're going to do your research. And that usually entails finding the right tutorials. So I've actually gone ahead and found some tutorials that I think would be relevant to you guys here. Now, you need to find the relevant tutorials, watch them, and then pick out techniques that you notice that is required for you to achieve your visualization objective. And next, you're going to just create the artwork, and that's the actual artwork that you guys will be presenting here. Don't forget to update your workflow process, right? And that is simply now detailing a specific workflow that you use to get your image. You will also need to present this, so don't forget to do that. You need to show the final workflow and not the initial estimated one. So very quickly, that is an overall workflow that you can use. And I want you guys to try and follow this workflow to see if you can create your first mimic.